I saw Naruto when I was in 4th grade. I cried in the very first episode where Naruto tried to defend Iruka-sensei. I know from then that it's going to be an epic adventure, but the more and more I watched, the more and more I realized that the anime overused all of those grand moments to the point where the impact is lost and it gets tiresome. All of that is done just to manipulate my emotions, and ever since then, I've become jaded of all of these anime speeches and big, grand, sad moments. I've gotten tired of anime characters giving ridiculous, overlong speeches about friendship, love, staying together until the end. The effects have diminished, and every shonen anime ever since has overused them to the point where it doesn't get emotional anymore. Then came an anime called Devilman Crybaby, which isn't shonen but has been relentlessly recommended by everyone on planet Earth. I didn't think too much of this anime. I know that Devilman is a Go Nagai classic back in the early 70s, so I'm not exactly the sort of person who grew up or know this sort of thing before. Then after watching Devilman Crybaby, I started to realize that this experience feels familiar. I look at another anime adaptation that was essentially adapted and modernized, and the only one that I can think of was the EVA rebuild, and then I thought, oh yes, that's exactly how I felt. Because Devilman Crybaby really felt like it skimmed through the original manga, or in Rebuild's case, jumped through 2 episodes in the original anime. However, unlike Rebuild, Crybaby consists of 10, 25, or 30 minutes episode, which makes the pacing slightly less rushed. Now you might be thinking that since I started off with a negative point, I'm just gonna bash the living hell out of Devilman, but that's not the case because I freaking love Devilman Crybaby, and like every person who watched this anime, I highly recommend watching it, especially when it doesn't waste your time as any other Netflix binge. Now if you're one of those people who haven't seen this anime yet, please turn off this video and immediately see it. It's on Netflix and the dub was okay, although the sub is highly recommended if you can find it. Go see it right now, I promise you, you won't regret it. But if you're not convinced yet, let this video sell you. Don't worry, there will be no major spoilers, and knowing the style of this video, there won't be any footage either. To the viewers who are not familiar with the series like me, the best way to describe this anime is Hotline Miami combined with Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne filled with LSD trips, 80s synthwave, tits, asses, sex, and gore. The story is about Akira, no, not that one, they changed his name, although I won't be surprised if you are reminded of him, as Akira and his blonde friend Ryo, that's Ryuji, not Rio, although they're both blonde, so I will let you pass. Anyway, as Akira and Ryo go into a bizarre world built by the dark desires of humanity like lust, sex, and boobs, can you please stop? They got cornered by a bunch of demons. Okay, now you're pissing me off. And Akira, in the process of saving his blonde friend, gains demonic power that can ruin all the demons' lives. Shut up! Shut up! Can you seriously shut the hell up? This is Devilman. He is the OG, not freaking Persona 5. And they go all around Tokyo to battle all the demons conjured from the dark desires of humanity. Fine, it's basically Persona 5. They have uncensored tits, sex, lots of gore, Nocturne, and the Hotline Miami soundtrack. Are you happy now? Watch this anime. It's amazing. Well, at least Devilman didn't get a cartoon cat that helps him on his way. Oh, go to hell! Yeah, the anime starts off very Persona-ish in the loosest possible term. I'm surprised that Go Nagai isn't filing any plagiarism complaints. Actually, why should he? He got used to it being ripped off at this point. Anyway, back to Devilman. It has a couple of formulaic episodes in which Akira and Ryo go all around battling demons and saving the lives of innocent, but then as the anime progresses, it turns more and more into Shin Megami Tensei as the world and the characters are in complete peril. The characters basically have no chance of survival. Demons populate the world, and the main character is a Devilman. But thankfully, anime, I love both Persona 5 and Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne, and Devilman does give quite a lot of influence to those two things that I love. However, if you're going to this anime with a Persona mindset, get ready to have your hopes and dreams crushed. Which is basically the Shin Megami Tensei mindset. This anime is really damn good at crushing your hopes and dreams. It is excellent at giving you hope that the world is going to be amazing, but then crush it in every sense of the matter, leaving you with the feeling of emptiness, bitter sadness, and sorrow because the anime just hates you. Devilman Crybaby gave some legitimately tear-jerking moments, if the title wasn't a good enough warning for you. I've heard reports that people are legit crying watching this anime. Yes, an anime that has uncensored tits, blatant sex, and ridiculous violence can actually make people cry. Baby. Okay, I'll smack myself. Also, props to the anime for giving only a couple of grand speeches about friendship and love that are legitimately effective. The reason is because they didn't freaking abuse it like every shonen anime ever. The grand speech should be something that is grand and done once in a while, not something that you do in every goddamn episode. And the grand speeches moments in this anime feel really damn effective because the anime hasn't fired it like a machine gun from episode 1. At At times, the anime does feel rushed. It is an adaptation of the entire manga, so of course there are gonna be tons and tons of stories and character development missing. But I gotta give props to the anime for putting it all up together in a manner that makes newcomers to be more interested with the source material. I have a feeling that I'd be a lot more critical of the anime if I actually watched the original, because I certainly feel that way when I watch Rebuild after finishing the original anime, but leaving the original aside, it works quite well as an original series, speaking as a newcomer who knows nothing of the series. I also loved how varied it feels. It starts off like Hotline Miami if it was in Tokyo, with the 80s synthwave music, the blood, the LSD trip, the gore, and of course the tits. Then it becomes Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne due to the post-apocalyptic scenario and the main character being a demon with a human soul. And then it becomes, well, it becomes a standard anime in the end, with the grand speeches, the demonic fights, the cheerful, happy flashbacks that contrast with the horrendous present scenario, the speeches about friends and how humanity can be saved. Devilman Crybaby is not exactly the best anime in the technical department. The production quality of this thing certainly feels like if Naruto vs. Pain was stretched into 10 episodes. But by the time you got used to it, you got used to with the janky, shadeless animations, the anime proves that it can still give you impactful moments without the needs of having that big budget beauty. All of that production quality in Attack on Titan is wasted if we're just gonna spend the rest of the episode staying stuck with a character whinging, crying, and episodes padded more than a freaking Simpsons. Devilman proves that you can still have a good anime without the needs of having that sweet anime graphics. It's still as emotionally impactful and emotionally draining, even if it looks pretty janky at so many times. So if you're somehow not convinced that you should watch this anime yet, I've given the best description that I can think of for this anime. It has tits, asses, gore, devils, sex, and it reminds me a lot of Hotline Miami, Persona, Shin Megami Tensei, and the hopelessness of living in this dark dystopian world. So again, if you haven't seen this anime, go check it out. Before we end this video, huge thanks to Federer Wolf for the pledge on Patreon. You are fantastic.